What's up, y'all? I'm Sheila, and today, actually not today, this afternoon, I'm going to be working on getting my jars clean because tomorrow I'm going to start doing some dry canning. I have rice that I've been talking about, and I've kind of put it off. Today we kind of rode to the next town over because there were some things that I was looking for, such as a sign and to put up because we were redoing our manufactured home. We moved from the city to the mountains, so we're in the mountains of Virginia, and we love it here. We wouldn't want to be anywhere else. But, so we were looking for signs today because I've got the farmhouse look, or the rustic look as my husband calls it. I call him Mr. His name's Keith. But anyway, I asked him if he would go out to the shed, or the barn we call it now, and get the boxes of canning jars that I have, but they've been in storage for quite a while. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look the jars over, and that's what we would need to do when you get your jars, especially if they've been put up someplace. You want to look them over. You want to make sure that you get them nice and clean, get them sterilized before you do any kind of canning. And also you want to make sure that you check around the rim of the jars, or even the jars itself. Make sure there's no cracks in them, especially around the rim, because if there's a little chip or anything, then it will not seal properly, and then you've done all that work in vain, so to speak. But anyway, I'm going to go over here. As you can see behind me, I've got some boxes. I don't really know what I am going to be opening up. I'm hoping they don't have any spiders or bugs in them. And we've been having a galore of those freaking stink bugs. I don't know about your neck of the woods, but here they're everywhere. And I hate those things. They look like little prehistoric bugs. You know what I mean? They got these little shields on, so I don't know. Anyway, I don't like them. So I'm going to go over here and see and check them out and see what I've got. So come on, let's get started. Want to? Come on. So here are the boxes. And pay no mind to this little wet spot on my shirt. You can't take me anywhere. I'm always spilling food on my clothes. So I tried to get it off, hoping that it would dry before I did this recording, but it didn't. So if you wonder what that is, Sheila spilled some Chinese stuff because we went out to eat Chinese. So anyway, that's what this is. But let's get to the boxes, okay? Oh, cross your fingers there's no stink bugs or yucky bugs in there. I just can't stand it. So, actually, there is a bug. Okay. Oh, and it's one of those, I think, jumping spiders, guys. I do not like spiders. I do not want the spiders. Sorry. I know some of you that love animals, love spiders and snakes and all. But in this house, no, there's only one queen bee. That's me. Okay. So now I'm going to be very careful because I don't know what I'm going to run into in these boxes. Like I said, they've been in storage for a while. And here it is. Now, some of the rims, bands I'm going to throw away. Of course, I'm going to throw away all the lids because they're not any good. There's probably was something that was canned in there. And actually, I might throw both of these away because this is all rusty and just looks yuck. But you can't reuse your lid. So we're just going to chunk those, okay? This looks pretty okay. There's nothing that I've got to empty out. So I'm going to go ahead and add it to the dishwasher. Now this one, some people use, I don't. I mean, if it was maybe dry canning, but it looks like just a regular mayonnaise jar. A lot of people use those. I mean, you can put stuff, I'm going to go ahead and wash it. And I'll use it for something else around here if I need to, an extra jar. But I'm not going to be canning in it per se. I'm going to put him at the bottom of here. I want to make sure, though, I have room. That band looks pretty good. So anyway, let me go ahead and get to this. Make sure there's no cracks or anything, because you can't use those. Oh my goodness. Here we go. I mean, these things are old as Methuselah. I don't think I want any of those lids. And here I've got a wide mouth. Oh, and I got a little extra treat in there. I wonder what that is. This is a 1 measure coffee for 3/4 measuring cup, 16 ounces of water. Oh, that might come in handy. Anyway, so I'm checking to see. I'll check it again after they have washed really well. They might go through 2 washings. And here's another one of those little mason jars. I think somebody tried to hoodoo me when I went picked them up at the yard sale or something. Threw some of these, made them look like they're all the mason jars. Sneaky, sneaky, huh? My goodness. Oh, come on. And actually, I'm going to end up throwing this box away. I do not want to reuse this box. I might use the separators in here, but not the box. You might have like little roach eggs. I don't know. Like I said, you don't know really where, like when you buy them at a yard sale or something. And believe me, I look at them. Jars are expensive. And if I see a good deal at a yard sale, Sheila's going to grab it up. And y'all know I love yard sales, right? I think I only got one video up of my yard sale haul. And I got a ceramic Christmas tree. You'll have to check it out. I've been looking for a ceramic Christmas tree. And even like the little smaller ones were like $135, $150. Those are the vintage. But anyway, I lucked up. And a lady had a yard sale not far from here. And she just kind of mentioned it. I went over to look at it. And guess what? It was a huge one. You have to check out that video. Okay, I'm not sure about this. I'm going to go ahead and wash it. Then I'll come back later and check it out. But yeah, you can usually see the chips and stuff that are around the rim. Or you can see the... Oh, there's a bug. Is he alive? No, he's dead. Ugh! Looks like a little baby spider. Tell you what, I'm not fond of spiders. I don't know about you guys out there, but I'm not. I don't know how they do those shows with those big old tarantulas and stuff. They let them walk on their face and all. I'll be going to see Jesus real soon. Like Fred Sanford. Like, move over, Elizabeth. There's another wide mouth, which is good. Well, if I don't really... I've been wanting to get some wide mouths, but just haven't done it yet. I have a few. Like I said, some of these I'll probably have to wash twice, and that's okay. Mainly I kind of want to get them to where I can see if they have any cracks or anything. But I've got a lot of dry canning to do. And we went out today and I bought some more stuff. I bought some more pasta, some egg noodles. Oh gosh, I don't know what. I think that's about the only dry ingredients that I got. But I want to dry can those. I saw a video today where this lady was using pint jars and she was actually canning rice. Oh wow, I go, you know what? And that's the wet canning, not the dry canning. And I go, I would really like to do that. She put a lot of spices in hers, made like a yellow rice. She put like basil and cumin, I think it is, in one of them. Another one she used is cilantro. I'm one of those people out there, I cannot eat cilantro. Everybody raves about it. I don't understand why. Oh, there was a big bug in there. Of course, he's all dried up. Ugh. But I'm one of those that I can't. Oh, there's tons of bugs. If y'all guys could see in there, it's like, and I don't like those daddy long legs either. Looks like that was one in there. Or I just don't like bugs. Let's put it that way. And, or those, I call them demon bugs. I think the correct name is camelback crickets. The ones that get up under your house. Can't do it. If I had a water problem, it's a bunch. In fact, I had a house that it was like infested. They just grew. And I had to put some bombs up under the house to kill those suckers before I could go under there. I had one time. I had these. Okay, let me just stop right there. I've got them all in here. I'm going to go ahead and put my dishwashing liquid in here, and I'm going to start it tonight and let them wash. I might look at them again after they finish. I might run them through the cycle again. I just want to make sure that they're nice and clean, that there are no cracks, chips, or anything in them. And these lids and bands, there's some that the bands, like this large mouth one, see, that looks okay. I can use that, but these that are all rusted up, well, there might be another one here, I don't use. You can get them pretty cheap, the bands at least. Anyway, that's Mr. Back in the background. He has allergies, so if you wonder what that noise is back there, that's him. Okay, yeah, these are bad. Anyway, I've only kept 4 here, but I'll tell you this real quick and then I'll get to this. You know, I was telling you about those Camelback crickets. Well, I used to have runners. You remember those plastic runners? Maybe some of you have them. But they're runners, and my kids, you know, I had 3 kids running in and out. And then, you know, yourself and your husband running in and out all the time. And I want to keep my carpets looking nice. So I put those plastic runners down, especially in the places that we travel the most. And anyway, one day I was walking down the hall, and as I'm walking, let me get my dishwasher liquid. As I'm walking down the hall, it was a standoff. You know, like you have like in Gunsmoke or one of those. I don't have the liquid. I got these. I forgot I had these little ones. But anyway, it was like a standoff. And it was a huge one. One with his legs were like way up here, like way like this, big and fat body. Anyway, he was standing there looking at me. And as I'm walking down the hall, I just stopped just in mid-track because I'm looking at him and he's looking at me. I was about halfway down the hall. No joke, no joke. He knew that I didn't like him. And you know what he did? Yeah. I turned around to go back up the hall because I wasn't going to go walk down to the end of the hall. And all you could hear was, remember I had the plastic mats. All I could hear flying up the hall after me was, honey, I cut a rug. You hear me? I can't stand them bugs. For sure I'd be seeing Jesus. Anyway, let me go ahead and put this in. And I'm going to put it on a heavy wash. And I'm going to put it on high temperature because I want to make sure and start it. Voila, that's it. So I'll wash them tonight before I go to bed. I'll go back and check again and probably run them through another wash because these have been out in the shed, and like you saw, some had bugs in them, and I just want to make sure that they're really, I don't want to eat food, would you? Bugs and stuff in it. Anyway, I'm going to run it through 2 times tonight and then check the jars out really well to make sure there's no cracks or chips in them. Tomorrow morning, I'll be back and we're going to start. I'm going to try to get, I keep forgetting how many pounds that is. It's 25 pounds of rice. I'm going to be dry canning that. And then I have some egg noodles I've bought. Some more elbow noodles. I've got some dried dog food that I'm actually going to dry can to keep. Gosh, I just got lots to do. So I'll do that tomorrow, at least get started on it. I'm praying that I'll get it all done tomorrow, but I've got so many things on my list. Some people say, Sheila, I don't know how you do it all. I really don't either. Sometimes, like today, I just took off. I didn't feel like doing nothing, especially after we put that shiplap up. And I got my pictures and stuff up, and I'll show you that tomorrow. But I also have a bowl of green peppers that Our peppers are still coming in from the garden, and I've got a dehydrator. I've got some in there now that's ready to come out, and I'm going to put those up to use later on. And then I've got to cut these up and dehydrate them. I want to get a bag of potatoes and maybe it was something else, a bag of, I want to get some apples. I tell you what, if you can do any canning, any dry canning to get started, it's never too late. Start right now, right where you're at. You know, I've just now got into the the dehydration and the dry canning, and the dry canning is so easy peasy, guys. You'll love it. But I'll see you guys in the morning, okay? Hey, good morning, y'all. This morning, I got up. I've already taken all my jars out of the dishwasher. I ran the dishwasher twice last night to make sure that they were good and clean. So I've gotten the jars out of the dishwasher, and so I've opened my bag of rice, and Mr. just brought in some veggies. Show him what you got, babe. He just went out to the garden. This is what he just brought in. So guess who's going to be doing some dehydrating today? That's on the list too. I got a lot of things on the list. But anywho, I opened up my bag of rice and I poured it into a bowl just so it makes it easier for me to scoop it out with a ladle and put it in the jars. I've also preheated my oven to 250 degrees. Because remember, if any of you have watched me before with my lentil beans or my pinto beans, and today is rice and maybe noodles today, you have to put your oven at 250 degrees, and you're going to put, after you filled your jars, you're going to put the jars in the oven for 90 minutes. Now this kills out any bugs that's in the jar, I mean not in the jars, but in your beans or your noodles, any dry ingredient, and the eggs. So it kills out the bugs and eggs, and that's what you want. Because if you ever open up a box or open up something that's all these little scaly things, these little bugs that are in there, well, you don't want that. Some people freeze their stuff for 30 days. That also can kill out any bugs or larvae in there. But I'm going to put mine in the oven because I'm going to, like I said, dry can it so they'll be good and hot when it comes out. And I'll put the lids in 15 minutes before I take out the dry ingredients, so to get my lids good and hot and the seals good and hot, so that it will seal properly. Excuse me. I only had one cup of coffee this morning. I'm just kind of slow at it, but I knew I needed to get busy. But so y'all just kind of read between the lines sometimes when I say some goofy stuff, but you'll see, you'll know what I'm meaning. But anyway, let me go ahead and do that. I got my little handy dandy funnel that will also make it easy to go into the jars. So again, my jars have went through 2 cycles. They're sterilized very well. They look pretty this morning actually, my jars, nice and clean. And my ladle, I've got my rice in the bowl. And so I'm going to go ahead and start putting my ingredients into the jars to get them prepared for the oven. And again, that will be in there for 90 minutes. So let's get started. 1, 2, come on. Now, you want to make sure that, remember I said, sorry guys, remember I said yesterday I was going to clean them really well. Before I put my rice into any of the jars, especially if it's something you bought from a yard sale or you've put in storage, you want to make sure there's no cracks in your jars, there's no chips around the top, because if there aren't some chips, that means it's not going to seal properly. So, and also because we're doing dry ingredients, you want to make sure that the jars are good and dry. So I had it on my dishwasher, then had it on the drying. But then also this morning when I got up, I came and just put my jars upside down just to make sure, because you don't want anything wet in dry ingredients, right? So anyway, that's what my jars are turned upside down. But I'm going to go ahead and get started here. Guys, this is the easiest way to can dry stuff. Now I saw a video, and I'm dropping rice on the floor. I saw a video and I said, ooh, you know what, I'm gonna have to try that. And a lady had canned her rice, and she made yellow rice, she made rice. She put them in pint jars. So she had yellow rice. She had turmeric and basil, I think she put in it. Anyway, it was just very interesting. My husband said he didn't know if he really cared for that, but you know, we'll see. I might try it. I want to shake it down and make sure I can get as much rice in a jar as possible. Now, I only put it in there up to, and give it like 1 inch because, you know, as it comes out of the oven, it's going to be toasty hot, but also I want some vacuum space in there as well. And plus, you guys know that when you fix rice, man, rice goes a long ways. So, anyway, so let me go ahead and get started. Now I'm going to go ahead and put this, I've got a pan over here, here, and the reason I do, because you know those racks that you have in your oven, it's got the space, like the 1 inch space between. I just don't want my jars to tilt, and I got dry rice or anything else all in the bottom of my oven, so I usually try to. Now, if you're very careful, not like me or clumsy, but put them in there. You can put them in there straight on the racks, or if you have racks that's a little bit better than mine. So anyway, this is what I'm going to do. As you can see, it's very, very easy, and I put too much in there. There we go. So I'm going to go ahead and fill, oops, you know what, I better check that, make sure. I already looked at it when I took it out of the dishwasher, but, you know, it's going to hurt to check it again. So I'm going to go ahead and finish filling these jars, and then we'll be back, or I'll be back, to put them in the oven for 90 minutes. And so I know this is kind of be boring, just watch me put rice in jars, but anyhow, but I'll be back shortly. Okay, I got all of my jars filled up with the 25-pound bag of rice that I used, and I counted the quart jars, and I have 15 quart jars of the dried rice. And so I'm getting ready to put that in the oven, but I walked over and saw that I had also some black beans, and there's not that many in here. I got 2 little bags, and I'm going to try to see if I can go ahead and put them in a quart jar and dry can it as well. Later on today, I'm going to be dry canning my egg noodles. I've got about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these. I've got lots of dry canning to do, to be honest with you. But I'm going to go ahead and put my beans. Let me go get my scissors just a minute. Okay. This should be easy peasy. Just got a quart jar. So I put my ladle and everything over here. But I think, guys, where are you? Here you go. Let me turn you over this way a little bit. I think that I could go ahead and just pour these into the jar. So I don't have that many. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Like I said, this dry canning, basically everything that you dry can. Yeah. I wonder if I could get 2. But see if I can put that other one in there. Basically everything is the same, no matter what it is. The main thing is put your, come on, please fit. Oh, it's not going to fit, guys. Oh, I don't think I can shake it down enough either. I'm going to have to take this off of here. So. But, got too much out now. But anyway, what I'm saying is, sorry, I get sidetracked like squirrel, squirrel. I get sidetracked easy. Anyway, here's another one. Then now the black beans, I got a little bit left over. I might put that in a really small jar, which I've got to find. But basically, it's all the same. Rice, beans, pasta, any dry ingredient at all. Just make sure your jars are nice and clean and dry. Check around the rims. Make sure, especially if it's those jars that have been put in storage, to make sure that there's no chips or cracks or anything, which none of these are. I've checked all of my jars and put it on a timer for 90 minutes. After that comes out, well, 15 minutes prior to it coming out, what I do is I put my lids in there so that the rubber around on my lids also gets nice and warm and hot, and then you're going to put them on your hot jars, so it should seal very well. Hopefully y'all start hearing the pinging. Hopefully you will. But I'm going to go ahead and put these in there so I can go ahead and start the timer. Like I said, I've still got more to do, so I can put this in a little jar with the rest of my stuff when I start dry canning the other ingredients after this. But let me go ahead and put these in so I can get it started. Now remember, also, be very careful. This oven is hot and it's heavy. These trays, but again, I do mine this way because you see, I've got, well, you probably can't see, but it's about an inch between the on the rack here. Oh gosh, please don't drop it. Gee, well, don't drop it after all this hard work. Okay, come on, slide on in there. And I'm afraid to put what I was saying is I'm afraid to put the jars in there just by themselves without a pan. You can if you're nice and coordinated and you're not goofy like me sometimes and get in a hurry, and I'm afraid I'm going to put it in there and then it's going to tilt and I'm going to lose all my ingredients in the jar. But anyway, I'm going to set this on the timer. Alright, my timer's on for an hour and 30 minutes or 90 minutes. And again, that's going to kill out any of, you got little bugs or anything in there, and any of its eggs, if there are any in there. Afterwards, I take them out, which I will be showing you when this is done. We're going to wipe the top of our jars off, make sure there's no dust or anything on there before we put our lids on, which you will see when these get finished. Okay guys, my buzzer just went off, still going off. It's been 90 minutes, a little bit out of breath because I forgot my bands. I had to go down to the barn and get some. Mister's trying to get the rest of them off of the dry canned stuff I've already canned, but I needed some bands. I don't know where they all are. I thought I had everything prepared. Make sure you have everything prepared. Not like me. All right, now they've been in there. I put my lids in there in a pan for it to be getting hot as well. I'm only going to take out one at a time because I want to keep my jars on the hot side, not be cooling down, because I want the lids on them before they start cooling down so it will seal. But be very careful when you take them out of the oven because it's hot. So here we go. Here are my lids right there. I'm going to keep those right there. And we're going to pull out one at a time. Oops, well, I need a lid, don't I? Ouch, 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 ouch. That is hot. Ladies and gentlemen, that is hot. You know what I didn't do? I want to make sure there's no dust or anything on there. Now, with it being in there 90 minutes, I need another little mitt or a rag. Here we go. So, what you're going to do is going to seal these real good and tight. So there it is. That's it. That's all there is to it. It's so easy. And I'll put this to the side, and maybe we'll start hearing the pinging. And I'm going to leave this until morning, till tomorrow. Lid. said, just wiping it off, just make sure it's not any dust. Of course, I've washed these twice. Of course, if you're pouring the rice in there, it will kind of get dusty. So. Good and hot, put it to the side. Now, while I was waiting for the rice to be doing its thing, I went ahead and got 4 wide mouth jars because my next dry canning is going to be, sorry, I'm kind of preoccupied here. It's going to be the egg noodles. I kind of show you that here. See, I've already got those in the jars, and so that'll be my next thing to go in the oven. I have 4 more bags over there of the egg noodles to do, and I've already used 2 bags, and 2 bags in the quart size has done 3.5 quarts. So, kind of figure that out with me having 4 more bags. But anyway, let me get this sealed up. Thank you, mister. Oh, it is hot.
I'm the ring bearer.
You're the ring bearer?
Yeah.
Right, thank you. Well, guys, this is so easy, and it keeps. Sometimes I cannot get these bands on here. Right? It's like I'm not holding my mouth right or something. I don't know. Do you have trouble with that? Okay, let me get this out. Here we go. Let's try this again. Ouch, 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 ouch. Here we go. It's hot. Hopefully we'll start hearing some pinging. But as I was saying, I'm going to be doing my noodles next. I've already dry canned some pintos. And what else have I dry canned? Goodness, it's so hot I can't. Whew. See what I mean by having little mittens? This stuff is hot. I can't seem to get it. There we go. Remember when I had my rice, and then I had those 2 little bags of black beans that I went ahead and put in a jar. It's basically the same with most all of your dry ingredients, and it keeps. Now they say, what I've heard, that it can last up 25 to 50 years. Now guys, I'm old, but I'm not that old, so I don't know. I haven't tried it out 50 years. I don't think maybe I will make it another 50 years. But I'm sure we'll be eating this sooner than 50 years. There's one pan. See, now I'll start putting the others in there for my next run. But this is basically it. I mean, it's so easy. Like I said, make sure you wipe off your jar rims. There's no dust or anything. And got your little mitts or a towel. And you want to make sure you get this good and tight. Yeah, it's still hot. It's just too hot. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and finish this up. It's just repetitive, and getting it out, putting your lid on it, and putting your rings on it and make sure it's really tight. Set it over to the side, and that's all you have to do. About 30 minutes, maybe sooner or less, you'll start hearing the pinging, and that means it has sealed. I usually leave mine overnight so they can get good and cool. I can pick them up. Then what I do is I'll take their bands off, which I didn't do in my last run. Take the bands off and then put my date as to when I dry can the ingredients. So that's basically it. I hope that you learned something. Like I said, it's so easy. And with us being up here in the mountains now, like I told you, it takes us about 30 minutes to get to town to get your groceries and everything. I'm trying to do as much as I can. People call it prepping. Okay, I'm prepping. I'm trying to get as much done and much here. So it's a lot easier for us. I'm going to be also this afternoon, I think I showed you, I'll show it to you again. Hold on a minute. Our garden is still producing like some green peppers. We've got a little bit of okra in there. But what I'm going to do is that I'm going to cut these up. I've got a dehydrator, and I'm going to be putting these in the dehydrator this afternoon and storing that away as well. Let me tell you what, it is delish. Anyway, I'm going to be busy, but I hope you enjoyed. If you did, maybe like and subscribe. I really hate saying that, because if you want to come back, you will, right? Okay. Well, remember, I love you and Jesus loves you more. Until next time.